Below this uprising, the military officers deployed in the garrison of Meerut city observed their soldiers' behavior with surprise. A large lotus flower was being passed among them. Each soldier who received the flower would gaze at it for a moment before passing it on to the next soldier. By the time the British found the meaning behind this movement, it was too late. Hi, thanks for joining GreenPalm YouTube channel. If you didn't join yet, please hit the subscribe button right now. Okay, let's continue. During that time, new guns had arrived at the garrison. The bullets were greased to facilitate smooth entry to the gun barrels. The soldiers were informed that the oil used for greasing the bullets was derived from the fat of cows and pigs. The Hindus regarded cows as sacred animals and their killing as a sin. Muslims also considered pigs and their fat impure. On February 26, 1857, 85 Indian soldiers in Meerut objected to the use of these bullets and declared that they were not to use them. They asserted that they would withdraw their objection only when they were assured that the bullets were not used in other garrisons as well. The British commander of the garrison immediately convened a military court, which sentenced each of the soldiers to 10 years of imprisonment. The following day, the rest of the Indian soldiers moved towards the prison within the garrison and feared their compatriots. They then proceeded to the dormitories of the British officers and shot all of them. Subsequently, they set the garrison on fire and advanced towards Delhi, the capital of India. It was some 65 kilometers away from Meerut. When the revolutionary soldiers arrived in Delhi, the Indian troops under the command of the British Army in Delhi also joined them, resulting in the swift annexation of the city. Delhi housed the largest military depot in India. Before fleeing, the British officers detonated this depot to prevent the weapons from falling into the hands of the revolutionaries. The Indian soldiers advanced towards the emperor's palace, where Bahadur Shah II, the last Mughal king, resided in his 70s as the emperor of India. He had maintained a formal rule and lived in the palace with the title of a king, but he held no actual power, as the government was under the control of the East India Company. Since seizing power in the 16th century, the Mughal Empire had ruled over most regions in the central and northern parts of India. However, the British gradually entered India and established a strong presence over a 200-year period, progressively limiting and diminishing the power of the Mughal kings. As a result, the last members of the dynasty were left with just the title of king. The heads of the East India Company kept Bahadur Shah like his father before him in the palace to legitimize their presence in India. They were still claiming they were merely engaged in commerce and that the true ruler of India was Bahadur Shah. Bahadur Shah took over the leadership of the revolutionary soldiers and wanted them to liberate other cities as well. Soon after, they seized the cities of Agra and Kanpur as well. They also captured the city of Lucknow in July 1857. General Sir Henry Lawrence, one of the commanders of the East India Company's army in this city, was captured by Indian soldiers and executed. The revolution extended to the eastern states of India, such as Bengal. All Indians, both Hindus and Muslims, unitedly participated in the uprising. At that point, it was not only the soldiers who were fighting against the British, the entire population had risen in rebellion. Rani Lakshmibai was a 29-year-old woman living in Gwalior. When news of the revolution reached the city, Rani dressed herself in men's clothing and encouraged the people to join the fight against the British. Rani took command of the revolutionaries and captured the formidable fort of Gwalior after a fierce battle. The British commander in the conflict was General Hugh Rose. Rose managed to escape, intending to return and seek retribution for his defeat at the hands of a young woman at an opportune moment. In the remote regions of India where the population was low or expelling the British was impossible, people would resist them in any way they could. One of the British generals wrote in his memoirs, "An elderly Indian man serves in my house. Today, he deliberately smashed and shattered the porcelain and crystal dishes before my eyes. I asked him, 'What are you doing?' And he replied, Until today, you were the one giving orders, and now it is our turn. This story is from this book, In Search for Khadi from History of Colonialism series. If you enjoyed this story, you can also watch this video. Until next time, goodbye, take care.